What is going on, everybody? So this is TLC Automotive. So what we're gonna be doing today is taking the bench seat out of the truck. I'm gonna walk around here in a second and show you guys what the project is today. So we have a little bit of rust on the floor from the original carpets, and when I took the old carpets out, there was a dampener right here for sound deadening, and the AC in these trucks has a tendency of getting condensation built up when it's hot in the summertime, and it leaks down on these carpets. And what most people don't understand is water and metal in long periods of time do not mix. I went out and got me some cut bits. We're gonna stick on the end of a drill, see if we can't eliminate some of this rust, and then after that we're gonna seal my floor pans. That bench seat needs to come out, and we need to get to work on, because it's a gorgeous day here in Oklahoma. It's the nicest day we've had all year so far, and I'm not taking it for granted. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive in and get started. All right, well, here's a little bit of better look at some of that rust. I know my floor pans are absolutely disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, I have not had the upkeep on these things since I took that carpet out, but this is all about to change today. So now, talking about the removal of this bench seat, there are gonna be 4 bolts, 2 on each side, one located here on the bracket and one in the rear of the bracket. And if you walk to the other side, it's gonna be the exact same. One here and one here. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, these are just threaded in, probably 2 or 3 threads deep on each screw. Or bolt. I'm not gonna lie to you, with some circumstances that came along, I had to daily this truck again. So I've literally been driving around on a seat that's literally just barely held into place. Let's go ahead and go over on this side. Let's go ahead and get these bolts removed and get this bench seat out of this truck. All right, now that we got our bolts out, let's go ahead and label a bag and put them in there so we don't get certain bolts mixed up. 4 bolts here for our bench seat. I'm gonna take them and stick them in this bag, like so. All 4 of those are out. What we're gonna do is be able to pick up and move the seat freely. Now we can go ahead and start with the removal of the bench seat. There are a couple steps that you're gonna have to take that I did not do. You'll have your seat belts, like this one. You'll have to take those out, of course. Now we can get started cleaning all this junk out. Got a random cup here for all of our random bolts. Would not be a Chevy without random bolts. Been looking for this inhaler. Did anybody know what this is? Now that we got all the trash out of here, now we can start worrying about this wiring. All just a bunch of mess. I stuck a sub in here thinking I was cool, I was hip. Let's go ahead and address that wiring, and then let's get to eliminating some of this nasty rust. Should definitely disconnect the battery first. I just arced off of something, and I'm not about to do that again. Now that we got our hood popped, let's go ahead and take our trusty crescent and get this battery disconnected. Alrighty, she's disconnected, so we shouldn't have no more arcing and sparking. Let's get back to it. And when I say I'm literally just gonna clean all this up, I'm literally just gonna ravel it up and shove it somewhere else. As for our OEM speaker harness, I have no idea how I'm even gonna keep these off the ground. Do exactly what I do and tie your 30-year-old fragile wire and everything will be fine. Now that we got most of that taken care of, we're gonna get this little guy right here taken off, get our trusty crescent, and get to turning. All right, now that we got our trusty little doodad off, the camera will focus. Now, you guys might be asking, oh Tyler, how are you gonna get all those crumbs and dust and all this stuff in the rails? How are you gonna get that out? Any way that I possibly can. Even if that means bringing out my wife's brand new Dyson, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So, Kayla, I hope you don't see this. I think I might have broke it already. She ain't sucking, and that's not a good thing. She's a-working now! All right, everybody. That old girl ain't doing too well, and let me just show you what I mean. Here, we still have a bunch of debris and just gunk and dirt and grass and all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have to go to plan B, and that is going to be getting it all out by hand. So I just tried to take this kick panel off, and there's this little button right here. Let me bring you guys in closer. Anybody have any idea what that is? I've owned this truck almost 2 years and I have never noticed that. Now we're gonna go ahead and rip this kick panel off and get it out of the way so we can get to cleaning. Easy peasy. Look at that rocker. It's so bad. Thank God we got brand new cab corners and rockers in the house. That's gonna be an entire another video, so keep a lookout for that. So I think what I'm gonna do in second part as to getting all that gunk and stuff out, I'm gonna take some of this Scotch-Brite that I found under that bench, and I'm just gonna go ahead and try to get it out by hand, and we'll see how that works. It's pretty messy in here. I wish I had a mask. I don't, so I'm gonna do my best to not breathe in all this garbage. So we've actually made some progress. My drill just died, so I'm gonna take a second, show you guys what's all been done so far. That cup really got the job done. We started getting some of the rust off right here. We've got that little body channel taken care of on that piece of the floor. We still have this big piece of surface rust to take care of. We have to worry about the transmission tunnel on just the passenger side. Other than that, it's coming out pretty quick. Like I said, my drill died, so we're gonna have to wait a second and let that battery charge. So guys, this is the bench seat out of the truck, but turned upside down. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about a picture that's in my head right now. This member right here, this little bracket, is what I'm going to be after in the future. I've got 2 bucket seats that I'm going to eventually stick in the truck. I was doing a little bit of looking, and there's a bolt here. Looks like a 10 millimeter, and a 10 millimeter on the other side. We'll just have to slide the frame up, and it looks like this this whole frame assembly will actually come off of the seat itself, because I plan on using this exact bracket to go back in the truck, since the bolt holes will match up. And I was just going to put a cross member across, up, over the transmission tunnel, and then back down again, and then do a cross member here and a cross member there, so I can put each bucket seat there, and then put a middle console in the middle. That is actually really awesome. I thought I was going to have to either chop this up and just completely ruin it and try to make it work, or try to fab up my own bracket and then just make that work as well. But now that we found that out, that's going to be so much simpler, so much faster, and just all around, it's going to work a lot nicer. My battery's done charging for the drill. We're gonna go back down, try to get some more work knocked out, and then I'm gonna try, before we lose too much daylight, because we're losing it pretty quick, I'm gonna see about trying to get some of that rust preventative coating laid on the floor pans. All right, now that we have a fresh battery, let's go ahead and get this rust knocked out. So the rust is coming out pretty well. That little drill right there is putting in some work, but it's not doing enough. But thankfully, this surface rust isn't bad to the point where I need like a roll-lock or a DA or anything of that nature that does for heavy duty removal. There is slight pitting, but all in all, it's just surface rust. I caught it just in time, I think. I mean, it all sounds pretty good. It's all pretty straight, all nice and strong still. I'm gonna mess with the toe box a little bit more, try to get a little bit more rust out. Then I'm gonna clean everything up, spray everything down to make sure that the product that I'll be applying adheres nicely. I'm gonna scuff everything up with green Scotch-Brite, and then after that, I think we're just gonna let it sit overnight, and then we'll check back in the morning and see what it all turns into. So I'm over here trying to work on this side, and this gunk is as hard as rocks, and I think it just might be years and years and years, even decades even, collecting through the threshold plate that usually sits right here along the top of the rocker. But this stuff is thick. It is really, really thick. So I'm going to continue to try to work on that, and then I will give you guys an update when I'm done. All right, everybody. So we're actually running out of light pretty quick. That driver's side threshold channel was actually a lot worse than the passenger side for some reason. I don't know why, but it was actually to the point where I started thinking that somebody poured cement actually in the floor pan, but it just ended up being a bunch of like concentrated dirt and sand, and probably just a bunch of moisture over the amount of years, and it just it became real hard. But I got most of it out. The severity of it was actually so bad that it actually killed my drill's battery in about 5 minutes. So that was the severity of it. Other than that, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a light coat of this rust prevention over here on the passenger side, let it sit overnight, and then we'll check it out in the morning. I actually have some errands and stuff I have to do in the morning. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this prepped out as much as possible. Let's get it cleaned up. and let's try to roll in some of this stuff and see how it looks. So anyways, guys, so what we're using here is this Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 rust reform or sealant. I know that this one is not going to be enough for my entire floor, especially if I'm going to do 2 to 3 coats, so I went ahead and grabbed another one. I grabbed just a real cheap rolling pan kit from Walmart. All I want to do is maximize the life and protection of my floor pans without having to stick new ones in. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and open up this, shake that up for a few minutes, and then I will get you guys back here so we can continue the process of rolling this stuff in the floor pan. Where's the money, Lebowski? I actually dented this can. That could be someone's face. Don't mess with me. Stuff has a pretty thick slash, like, I don't know, it's like thick, but it's watery at the exact same time. We're just gonna see what we can do here. And the reason I'm using a roller like this is because I'm after that rougher texture look. That's just gonna help make sure everything's getting coated. I'm actually liking the way this stuff's laying out. But yeah, I'm gonna get this stuff covered up as much as I can without making too big of a mess, and I will get back to you guys. All right, everybody, here's a coat and a half from the driver's side of the transmission tunnel all the way to the threshold reservoir. It actually looks really, really good because it kind of has like a textured finish, which is gonna be real nice for whenever I smush that sound deadening in it. It's gonna have something to really grip with, hold on to, and I shouldn't have any problem with any of my sound deadening actually lifting off. I think I'm done for the day. The sun's going down. Gorgeous Oklahoma sunset. But yeah, so there it is. I'm not gonna worry about the driver's side right now because I still need to clean it and then get it out of the way, and then I also need to set some stuff over there for the night. What is going on, everybody? It is currently the next day, as you guys can see. I simply just ran out of time yesterday with the drill dying and having to wait for that to charge, and then with having to get everything cleaned by hand. That took a lot more time than I would have liked it to. But I came out here this morning and I knocked out the driver's side just because you guys already seen what the passenger side consists of. You don't need to watch it twice. It's pretty boring. So I went ahead and knocked it out. I'm gonna show you guys what the finished product looks like. It's a little bit of a windy day this morning, but it's gorgeous. It's already 70 degrees. So I figured I'd take another day and then I'm gonna call it good. I was also noticing with the door moldings and stuff for the weather strips, these are pretty dry rotted. I'm gonna go ahead and get on the internet and order new kits for this thing, and then we'll get those installed too. But foremost, let's go ahead and just take a look at what we have accomplished. So I was trying to stay off this back wall right here. So I left about a 1/2 inch gap all the way down. Some places I didn't. I actually got pretty close. And down there I actually got on the wall, but I can just take that off with thinner. This thing came out really, really good. And if you're wondering why those little circles and squares aren't done, my cab mounts are bad on the truck. We're gonna have to get the cab mounts changed. I mentioned that in my last video, my first video actually. I didn't want to get the panels fused together with this rust preventative, so I left them pretty much naked, untouched, And then when we get our cab mounts put back under there, I will clear over that. But here it is, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, I'm still very new to this YouTube thing. My content's not going to be the greatest as to what it could possibly be, but this is a learning curve for everybody. It's a learning curve for me especially. I'm doing this on my own for the very first time. Never done this before. I have really big expectations for this little truck. I've already got a lot of money in it, but that's not the point. The point is I want to have fun with it. I want to do it right. I want to take my time on it, and I want to perfect it. So you guys can come to me if you guys have any questions. I'm constantly doing research. I'm constantly doing my brush up work on it. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have an awesome time with this thing, and I can't wait for you guys to join the ride. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've got way too much time in this video as it is. I'm going to wrap it up, and then I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. But anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell if you will. It really helps us out here on the channel, and we will see you next time. Peace.